Before you touch your phone, before the emails, before the noise, the notifications, and the anxiety of everything you haven't done yet, just stop and breathe and listen to this. You don't need to figure out your entire 5-year plan before you get out of bed today. You do not need to change your whole life by noon. All you need to do right in this exact moment is choose to show up as someone who values intention over impulse. Because the first 30 minutes of your morning secretly architect the entire direction of your day. Right now, your brain is in a highly suggestible and programmable state. You are transitioning out of sleep, moving through theta and alpha brainwaves. In plain English, your subconscious mind is sitting wide open. Whatever you expose yourself to right now becomes the psychological lens through which you will experience every single interaction today. Most people wake up immediately, grab their glowing screens, and flood their minds with the news, other people's highlights reels, or stressful demands. They allow the world to hijack their attention before their feet even hit the floor, triggering a spike of cortisol, the stress hormone. Immediately, they start their day planning defense, but today you are going to play offense. You are going to take back the narrative of your own mind. Let's establish a baseline before you walk out the door. Whatever happened yesterday is over. The mistakes you made, the hours you wasted, the awkward conversations, they died at midnight. Neuroscience actually backed this up. While you slept, your brain actively flushed out neurotoxins and physically recalibrate your amygdala, the emotional processing center of your mind, biologically and psychologically. Today is not simply a continuation of yesterday. It is a completely blank state. Do not drag yesterday heavy, expired baggage into today's clean space. Leave it on the floor. Marcus Aurelius, a man who carried the heavy chaotic burden of Roman Empire, wrote a private note to himself thousands of years ago to deal with the overwhelm of the morning. He wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." He wasn't writing that because his life was a luxury vacation. He wrote it to anchor himself to the reality. Gratitude isn't about pretending your problems. Gratitude isn't about pretending your problems do not exist. It is about recognizing your agency. You're still breathing. You still have moves left to make on the board. You're still in the game. So as you get ready, I want you to drop the exhausting illusion that you need to be highly motivated today. You do not need motivation. You need alignment. Motivation is fragile. Emotional state. It spikes when you watch a cinematic hype video, and it completely evaporates the second you face actual boring friction in the real world. Alignment is entirely different. Alignment is the quiet, unbreakable decision to act like the person you respect regardless of how tired you feel. It doesn't care about your mood, it only cares about your standard. This is what the modern psychologists call identity-based behavior. True, lasting change doesn't happen because you chase external outcomes or try to frantically crush the day. That mindset is a one-way ticket to burnout. Real change happens when your daily actions prove your brain who you actually are. Stop waking up and asking, what do you have to achieve to be worthy? Wake up and ask, who am I choosing to be today? Are you going to be reactive, easily distracted, and fragile? Or are you going to be grounded, deliberate, and intentional? Decide right now, and then let your actions prove it. The loudest lie your brain will tell you this morning is that you're falling behind. You look at your age, your bank account, or your peers, and a wave of panic sits in you. But that panic is just your mind artificially dragging the weight of the future into the present moment. You're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be to take the next right step. A fascinating study published in Frontiers in Psychology proved people People who practice intentional morning grounding experience radically higher productivity and lower anxiety, regardless of their actual workload. They get more done because they are not frantic. Progress is never born from panic. Progress is born from present. When you rush, you make mistakes. When you slow down, you execute with precision. Remember this as you step out of the door. Confidence isn't a magical aura you're born with. Confidence is simply an undeniable stack of proof that you keep your promises to yourself. Every small intention you follow through on today builds your self-trust. If you say you'll work for an hour without distraction and then you actually do it, your brain registered that as a victory. Over time, that self-trust hardens into quite unshakable power. As the writer Ralph Waldo Emerson said, "Trust thyself, every heart vibrates that iron string, but you have to earn that trust. It is constructed one deliberate action at a time." So here is your only assignment for this morning. Choose exactly one thing you will do today with absolute unbroken attention. It doesn't need to be a massive project that changes the world. It could be drinking your coffee without looking at a screen. It could be one deep workout session. It could be looking someone in the eye and actually listening to them without waiting for your turn to speak. That is enough to shift your momentum. Excellence isn't about doing a million things at once. It is about doing what actually matters with deep intentional care. Now, let's be brutally realistic. At some point today, the world is going to test. Plans will fall apart. People will frustrate. Friction will appear out of nowhere. When your heart rate spikes, I want you to remember this exact moment. Difficulty is not a signal to panic. Difficulty is the trigger to apply what you are practicing right now. The psychiatrist Viktor Frankl, who survived the unimagined horrors of the Holocaust, wrote one of the most important truths in human history. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. That space is everything. When someone insults you or a problem arises, that is the stimulus. How you react is the response. Your morning routine isn't just about feeling good. It is about building the walls of that space. You're widening the gap so that when the world hits you today, you don't just blindly react with anger or fear. You choose. Listen to me closely. You are capable of navigating far more than you feel ready for right now. You don't need to rush your personal growth. You don't need permission to start acting like the person you want to become. Stop holding yourself to an impossible standard of flawlessness that only keeps you paralyzed. Today is not about being perfect, it is about being present. Carry this grounded energy with you as you leave this room. Let this philosophy be the internal voice you return to when the afternoon gets loud and chaotic. Let it remind you whenever you feel overwhelmed that clarity always beats urgency. Consistency always beats intensity. And deep self-respect will always beat the cheap applause of the crowd. You have everything you need inside of you to make this a meaningful day. The slate is clean, the mind is primed. Take a deep breath, hold on to this calm, focused energy. Now step into your day. You're ready.